It's a great pleasure to welcome all of you to Jepson Hall. This is a new event for the Jepson School. We're calling it a portrait unveiling. Not sure that's an official term in event speak, but it's what we thought we should call it. We've invited some friends of Bob and Alice to the Jepson School this evening, and I've been just overwhelmingly pleased with how many of you have responded and are here this evening. So I want to thank you for sharing the evening with us, for helping us thank and honor two of the most gracious and visionary people associated with the University of Richmond. The festivities this evening have been a long time coming. We first had the idea of commissioning a portrait of Bob and Alice some 3 years ago, and as I and my staff started planning for the school's 20th anniversary, I was probably a little naive at the time, as I often am. I thought, oh yeah, okay, we'll just do this portrait and it'll be simple. But many, many conversations, much thought, and many details later, all good, of course, we stand here ready to unveil the portrait, and I'm thrilled to see it come to fruition. I need to, of course, thank a number of people who made this happen. When you see the portrait, I know you'll appreciate, as I do, the artist's talent. Loryn Brazier, who's here this evening, has been just amazing throughout this process. Richard Waller, Executive Director of Museums at the University, helped with artistic choices from start to finish, as did Carolyn Burris, the university's interior decorator. I stood in this lobby briefly a few days ago, observing the complexity of lighting. The artistic talent of Richard and Carolyn was fully evident then. Susan Taylor coordinated all the details, including the approval of the portrait by our trustees, as well as sittings to have the portrait painted, to the preparation of the site. New ideas don't come along all that often in higher education, and when they do, they sometimes don't come to fruition for lack of resolve or resources. But something significant happened 20 years ago. Robert S. Jepson believed so strongly in the power of educating for and about leadership that he and Alice Andrews Jepson offered the gift that began a school devoted to leadership studies. This year, 60 graduates crossed the stage at commencement to shake my hand, and another 8 obtained their degrees from Robbins in Arts and Sciences. They were also Jepson majors, and I'm trying to forgive them for not declaring us as homeschool. That's the largest number ever, and it's twice as many graduates as we had in 2007. Bob and Alice's vision for the Jepson School and their generosity to us has enabled us to teach over 1,000 alumni who are now in the for-profit and the non-profit world, in business, politics, in the arts, medicine, banking, education, sports, and service, making the world a better place, leading ethically, leading with vision, and leading well. As a token then of our appreciation for that gift, we at the Jepson School decided to commission a portrait. Before we show it to you, I want to invite Dr. Edward L. Ayers, president of the university, to give some remarks and to introduce Bob to you. You, of course, all know Dr. Ayers, the extraordinary historian who, in his time at the university, has enriched our connections to the city of Richmond through his scholarly work on the history of the U.S. South. We're grateful for all the support that Ed has given the school and his administration has given the school over the years. So with that, Ed.
Thank you. You know, I have some revelations to make to you, things that I've discovered in my time as president and each time I've known Bob and Alice Jepson. We think of them as so central to this place because they are. One of our favorite places across this entire campus are here because of their generosity. And yet, it turns out that they have been generous to other places, too. It turns out that they're not nice only to us. And so, you know, I've heard about Mary Washington, where Alice went, and they've been very gracious and generous there, and they love them there. Then I visited them in Savannah. There's a whole city that's crazy about them. So I went to the Georgia Historical Society. Bob's the chairman of the board, and it's not done enough already. They were just gushing about it. So, I hate to sort of rain on a parade, but, I know that the leadership school here, the Jepson School, values honesty, and I just want to use this opportunity to tell everybody that they're not just ours. And this is the only thing they're passionate about. Fortunately, they're passionate enough about us that there's enough left over for all the other wonderful things that they're doing. It's great that Bob's here for his 50th reunion. I think that just shows your planning to have this emerge at just this moment. And the head of his class, and seeing him and Alice walk in and leading everybody else in the bagpipes following was very impressive today. But all kidding aside, I see Rich Morrill here too, and I know that the leadership that Bob and Rich showed when the world wasn't sure that leadership studies was a thing, and Joanne Chula, the other pioneers here. And now the world's following us and looking at the Jepson School and seeing what it might mean to think about what it means to be a leader in a disciplined and open-hearted, innovative way. So I feel honored to have a chance to be here for just a moment before I turn the podium over to our good friend Bob Jepson. Welcome.
Please forgive me for writing some notes that I will look at. Occasions like this, if you don't have notes, you may just stand here and look at everybody and say, I'm supposed to say something. Sandra, to you and to you, Ed, and on behalf of Alice and myself, thanks for the kind words and the nice introduction. And for all of you who have gathered here this evening, our heartfelt thanks for you being here is special to us. Particular thanks go to Loryn Brazier, who was called upon not only to paint a likeness of the two of us and did such a wonderful job, but she was also called upon to show inordinate patience with one of us. I'll let you guess who that is. And I really don't know what's up there, what Loryn painted first looked a little stiff, and it looked like Alice was always beautiful, but I wasn't as pretty as I really am. We had to pretty bob up a little bit. I would say the journey to this podium this evening began almost 54 years ago when Alice and I were enrolled as college freshmen. As you heard, Alice attended Mary Washington, and I was fortunate enough, and I mean that, fortunate enough, to find a seat here at the University of Richmond. For both of us, our college years were truly formative in many different ways. We learned the value of gratitude, we learned the value of importance, we learned the importance of helping others. If this portrait is an indication, and I have no idea what we're going to look at here, if this portrait is an indication of anything, it is my hope that it will be seen as a beacon for young people to reinforce the idea that those two words, gratitude and generosity, not only go together, but actually have the power to change lives, many lives, in a meaningful and substantive way. Decades ago, I was asked to make some remarks here at the university. 25 years ago. I remember clearly the name of that talk. It was Life is But a Hyphen. And for all of us, young and old, I hope those words still hold profound meaning. My friends, life is but a hyphen, and I am pleased to see that we are all making the most of it. Thanks for being here, Loryn. Thank you for your patience with me. And thank you, Sandra, for your loving assistance. And Ed, thank you for just being Ed.
Okay, now's the time when you can get your glasses ready. If you can join me in a toast to Bob and Alice Jepson, Dr. Terry Price, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and Reagan Morris, Jepson 99, are going to unveil the portrait. A bit of suspense here. Bob has actually seen that. He's just pretending he doesn't. Bob and Alice Jepson as a small expression of our continued appreciation for your vision and generosity that changed the landscape of higher education, made the University of Richmond unique in its configuration of schools, and provided the Jepson faculty, students, and alumni the wherewithal to engage in deep learning, teaching, and scholarship for and about leadership. Cheers.
Cheers.